my. Oh my, indeed. Indeed. Why does this do this? There we go.
When I did my review of Ballerina a few days ago, the most obvious point of comparison was Furiosa, and it's not hard to see why. Both movies were female-led spin-offs from established male action franchises, both starred pretty likeable actresses playing well-rounded protagonists, both came away with solid audience scores and positive critical reviews. There was no backlash, no negativity around them, no controversies or media firestorms, no actors shooting their mouths off. And yet, both of them flopped at the box office. The question is, why? Well, this is where things get a bit contentious, so pay attention, dear viewer, because
Well, I can only assume that he's going to talk about what we've talked about 1,000 times, that people are basically tired of the whole Girlboss thing. Even Emily Blunt talked about getting another script for strong... what is that? Strong something woman character or whatever it was. And she's just like, even if A-list actresses are tired of this garbage, you know the fans are. And the fans have been telling you. I mean, it's not like people can ignore all the box office bombs that have been happening over and over and over again whenever it has to do with some type of subject under the woke umbrella. And under the woke umbrella, it's a bunch of girl bosses or race swaps or gender swaps or sexuality swaps and all this other garbage that we know is going to make a movie woke. Nobody wants it. Everybody's tired of it. So now people are so sensitive to it because you stank up the whole room with it that if they even smell a hint of woke shit, they don't watch it. They won't pay their money. Their wallets are closed. They basically boycott the movie. So if you learn Hollywood, you'll start making money again and start giving the people what they want. People never had a problem with strong female characters. They never did. The problem is, you used to do them right, and you started doing them wrong.
we're taking a deep dive into the murky world of film franchises. One of the fundamental problems that both of these films struggled with is that it's always tricky to launch a spin-off from a franchise that's so heavily based around its central character. Franchises like Star Wars or Marvel or Star Trek are bigger than any one character or story, and so they lend themselves much more easily to spin-offs and side projects. It's more about the world than the people in it. Character-based franchises are a completely different story though, because they are the selling point. In this case, both John Wick and Mad Max soon became bigger and more memorable than the actual movies they were part of. Most people would probably struggle to remember the plots for John Wick 2 and 3, but man, they remember Keanu Reeves was fucking cool, and that's what they really gravitated towards.
Yo, when I was watching them all with Scarlo, because I just recently did, I was trying to remember, okay, so this one's the one where they kill his puppy, and that's why he's after everybody. And then the second one, and then I'm starting to forget already. The second one is, it's crazy when you run them all together. It's like they start to blur together, and you just remember it's one long line of badassery and cool fight scenes. And I had it too. I was making sure I remembered so I could think of when, like what. Damn, I can't remember what the second. The second one, I know at the end, he shoots the dude. So, yes. So the second one, he had a blood oath. And he wouldn't have to fulfill that blood oath if he came back. But, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. He came back because of the puppy and them stealing his car in the first one. So the second one, he's pulled back in because he has to fulfill his blood oath. And after fulfilling his blood oath, they try to take him out, so he takes them out. After takes them out on company grounds, the third one is him escaping everyone that's sent after him because of what he did in the second one. And yeah, right? Yeah. So he goes to the head of the table, the OTC in the third one, to get all that fixed up. He runs into Halle Berry and all that stuff, right? Yeah. Then the fourth one, he kills the head of the table. Yeah. And he's still trying to get out, I think, right? That's like all blurring together. But yes, it's true. You remember Wick.
That right there is what kept them coming back for the next installment. Mad Max Fury Road kind of struggled with this problem because Mel Gibson had aged out of the role while the movies were on hiatus, forcing the studio to bring in a younger Tom Hardy to replace him.
They didn't have to do it. All he needed to do was make sure he got in shape a little bit, put a cool badassery outfit on him, jacket, whatever. You know what I mean? And he still could have went through it with guns a-blazing or something like that. You know what I mean? They could have done it with an older one if he wanted to and if they wanted to, but they went with a younger guy.
They more or less got away with that though, partly because the awesome action scenes compensated for it, but also because there was still some kind of continuity there. Even if the actor might have changed, it was still the same character they'd come to know and love over the years. Both Furiosa and Eve from Ballerina didn't have the benefit of all that fan goodwill and attachment. They had to earn it like they were starting from scratch. They weren't piggybacking off the success of their predecessors, they had to stand on their own merits and earn it for themselves. Unfortunately, their studios didn't seem to understand this and budgeted both movies like they were mainline sequels. To put this into context, the original John Wick brought in $86 million worldwide, which isn't exactly blowing the lid off the global box office.
No, it was almost kind of like a cult classic. Like, it was like a sleeper hit. Like, I wanted to go see it because I was a fan of Keanu Reeves from The Matrix, but I was like, it just looks like it's going to be a cool movie, you know what I mean? It ended up being way better than what you thought it was going to be. That's the feeling that I got when that movie came out. You know what I'm saying?
But it didn't have to. It only cost $20 million to make, so that $86 million haul generated a nice little profit for the studio.
Yeah.
Ballerina, on the other hand, is projected to make about $100 million worldwide, which would have been great news if the studio had the sense to budget it like the first John Wick. But they didn't. It cost $90 million to make, more than 4 times as much as the first movie, and so it needs to make 4 times more to turn a profit. And clearly,
and I'm here to tell you, Ballerina was good. I enjoyed it. I'll probably buy it. I'll probably buy it when it comes out. It was good. And Wick is in it. He's in it. He's in it. He's not a cameo. He's in it. So...
not gonna make it. It's the same story with Furiosa. That film brought in $178 million worldwide, which would have been great news if it had cost $40 or $50 million, but it didn't. It cost $168 million. That's insane for a movie.
And I haven't seen this. I heard it was good, though.
From a franchise that always specialised in low-budget action thrillers. My point here is that spin-offs generally don't generate as much interest or as much revenue as the original movies, and if both studios had been realistic about what these films could actually achieve and adjusted their expectations and budgets accordingly, they might have ended up turning a solid profit instead of being depressing flops. Now, that's the business side of the equation, but there's a much bigger problem that's brought down both of these films. A cultural backlash that's been building up for years now, and
backlash
exploded harder than me after a particularly strenuous session with Tatiana. The fact is, audiences today
I haven't heard about Tatiana in a while.
are getting a bit
I got a friend named Tatiana out here. I think Drinker would love her.
fucking sick of Girlboss movies because they've had nothing but Girlboss movies shoved down their throats for the past decade or so. And in particular, they're sick of seeing their favourite male-led franchises getting taken over by unlikable, arrogant...
This is how you know the people that say that I changed or that other people changed or that they're grifting. Just how you know they're liars, like complete liars. Because the box offices are absolutely showing you what this woke age has done to the business. The fans never changed. The fans always have wanted great entertainment. They changed it. The fans never changed. The fans kept giving their honest opinions of movies. So you started making good to great movies, fantastic movies, sometimes bad movies, and then you just started making shit, woke shit, and more shit. And the box office is giving you shit, and you're saying that we changed. No, we didn't change. The entertainment changed.
Abrasive and infallible feminist power fantasies, usually written by talentless hacks and embittered activists who they're commanded to like and respect simply because they've been crowbarred in to replace someone far more popular. Fan bases don't work like that. The big pop culture franchises are the most obvious and high-profile examples of this, but the truth is that it's spread to almost all facets of entertainment.
Everything.
Like, how many times have you been told that some old movie or TV show is getting a revival, updated for modern audiences, of course, usually followed by sneering think pieces decrying the original as a dated relic of a lesson learned in time, and fawning interviews with pretentious actors up on their soapboxes about how excited they are to bring a modern dimension to their formerly outdated characters. How many times have you seen your favourite male heroes brought out of cold storage just so they can be mocked, belittled, outperformed, and ultimately replaced by their idealised, overpowered female superiors? It's all happened so many times now that even the most easygoing, culturally neutral normies are just kind of fucking done with it.
And I started to see that. And it took me a while to start getting irritated by it. Like, I'm talking like Eric July and like Geeks and Gamers and, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were irritated months before me. I would watch some of their reviews and I would be like, they don't like it. Oh, wait, why? I have to go back and check that out. And then over time, I would see articles about stuff, and I was becoming less satisfied with the movies. And I was like, wait a minute, they were saying this like months ago, that there was a trend toward this type of entertainment. They're changing this, they were doing this with characters, this with characters, this with characters, this with characters. This. I'm like, starting to notice it. And it's not even that it was just those changes, all the woke changes. It was getting worse and less faithful to the damn characters and the stories. So it's not even that these changes were made, like sex changes, gender changes, whatever you want to call sexuality changes, race changes. All this stuff was changing, and they were making it worse at the same time story-wise. It was just like, and then at the end of the day, I got tired of it. Just like everyone else started to get tired. And there were people after me that I saw as really neutral. You know, all of their reviews were always really PC and neutral. And you know, by certain PC words that they would drop, that they didn't enjoy what choices they made with the films, but they didn't want to rock the boat and make anyone angry at them. But you could tell. And then certain guys started to use more PC language, and I'm thinking of two guys right now. Okay, one's major, and he's damn good. He's getting there. I think in a few years' time, he'll probably be a top channel that talks movies and entertainment. Him too. I'm like, they don't want to. They're not as irritated and done with this issue as me. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drinker came on board talking trash, irritated with stuff. You know what I'm saying? So people, he didn't have to go through a phase, you know what I mean, online where people are like, you change. No, it was the entertainment that changed, but he came in on that. You know what I'm saying? Neurotic too. Like, you know, but Neurotic's been around for a while though, but he's always been, you know, had his criticisms with stuff. You know, I would watch him from time to time over the years. You know what I'm saying? He got irritated with it too, you know, but I had a point to all this. I had more of a point. Oh yeah. So all the PC guys, even they started to show, say stuff, this one didn't work for me as much. I feel as though there's certain choices that I like, say the choices, because I know what they are. And they couldn't take it either. So rather than take a public backlash in their comment section, they just don't say anything. And they don't spend their money, or they give it lower reviews. You know what I'm saying?
It's exhausting and demoralizing, and most people just can't handle it anymore. And at worst, a good chunk of audiences are actively rebelling against it. And what's the end result of all this? Well, in blunt terms, the female action star is fucking dead now. Mm-hmm. Audiences have been burned so many times now that any time...
And I wouldn't really say that it's dead, but... You know what? He actually might be right. They may have tainted it so much. See, here's the problem. Daredevil did badly, although the show wasn't bad. And they did put some stuff in there that they should not have. But it wasn't bad. People are so sick and tired of all the tropes that it's all going to be dead if they do not stop. It's all going to be that. And in Ballerina, even in the trailers, they let you know that they weren't going the girl boss route. She's weaker. She needs to cheat to win against men. She has to shoot them and use all these other things to fight men. And it still didn't work because all they saw was Girlboss. And people like to say, oh, well, you're biased. Everyone's biased. But even with my biases, I said, let's give it a chance. So that's the difference. They turned people off so much that with their biases are making the judgment call. Not for me. Even though I'm biased and I don't like the garbage, I give it a shot. And because I gave Ballerina a shot, I liked it. And I saw that they weren't bringing a girl boss, and I gave it a good rating. And through word of mouth and views on my channel, I let people know, check it out. And other people gave it good reviews, and it still didn't work. Because you have made so many people biased now that they cringe at the thought. They snarl at the thought of anything possibly woke being in a film, and they won't go see it now. Keep effing around. Keep effing around. You are going to implode. Every single one of you movie studios, gaming studios, TV show studios, everything in between. Keep playing around. I'm the nice one. I just keep asking you to get it right and start doing right by the fans again. I never wish for your downfall or the destruction of your companies like a lot of channels do, which they're entitled to feel that way with you destroying all the IPs. I'm the nice guy, and I still get hated on.
A new female-led movie shows up, they basically roll their eyes and say, oh, here we fucking go, another girl boss. They're unwilling to give any female-led action movies a chance now, to the point where actual good and respectful examples like Furiosa and Ballerina all get lumped together and flushed down the same cultural toilet bowl as the watery shite excreted by Disney, Marvel and Amazon. And when I think about it, that really is a shame, because believe it or not, there was once a time when we really did have it all. Go back as recently as the 2000s or even the early 2010s, and we had a whole bunch of established female-led franchises like Resident Evil, Underworld, Tomb Raider, Kill Bill, and The Hunger Games. And you know what? Nobody fucking Tomb Raider established.
Let me go through these real quick.
Franchises like Resident Evil, Underworld.
Resident Evil, that was always okay to me. I'm a purist with that, and I wanted them to really stick to the games. So they were always okay for me. And I went to see every single one because they were good enough. You know what I'm saying? Loved the Underworld franchise. Okay.
World, Tomb Raider.
This was okay to me.
Kill Bill and the Hunger
And that was
Games.
all right to me. And that was okay to me. You know what I'm saying?
About them then. There were no boycotts.
I love Terminator franchise. Love the Aliens franchise. Alien franchise.
Cultural warfare raging around them. Nobody cared because they existed alongside male-led franchises instead of trying to replace them. There was enough room for everyone, and there still is today. The problem is that the well has been poisoned to such an extent that it's treated more like a battle to the death that only one side can walk away from, instead of a fun and vibrant genre that encourages new ideas and opportunities. One of the fundamental rules of the universe is that every action has a reaction, and if your action is to spend years shitting on male heroes just to elevate low-quality female replacements, then guess what? The reaction is that audiences will stop watching what you make, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
The female action star is dead because the girl boss killed it. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Oh, that sounded lifeless. Oh, man. See, you're taking the life out of the drinker. Get over there and follow the Critical Drinker. Tell him Tyrone Magnus sent you. 10 million subscribers. Woo!